What's going on, guys? Today I'm back with another 7 round mock draft. This time around, I wanted to do the Philadelphia Eagles. They have a bunch of selections, and it's a very interesting team. They made the playoffs at the 7th seed this past year. They're going to be looking to improve quite a bit. I just don't know how far they can go with their current roster. They're kind of stuck between a young team and an aging team. They have pieces that were part of the Super Bowl championship team, and they've got some guys they've added since then, and they're sort of stuck in the middle ground. So we're going to see if Nick Sirianni can really turn things around in his second year. And hopefully I'm going to help him out here with this mock draft. So as usual, we're using the Draft Network's mock draft machine. And we're just going to start off here. We're going to run through 7 rounds. I'm going to try to keep it around 10, 12 minutes. If it's longer than that, then I failed. My computer's probably going to be yelling at me trying to convert the file, but hopefully everything goes as planned. And immediately, I don't think anything is going as planned, just looking at the board. Okay. This was not what I was hoping for at all. So we're Philadelphia. I think corner is still a big need, but I really wouldn't take any corners available into the second round. That kind of really hurts. Edge rusher is maybe a bit of a need. I've got the depth chart pull up here, courtesy of our lads. They've added to the defensive line, obviously, with Hassan Reddick. So they've added pieces there. I think Alex Singleton just signed with the Seahawks, but it doesn't matter. They're not going to take a linebacker in the first round anyways, most likely. Anthony Harris re-signed at safety. They still need an outside corner, but like I said, I'm not really looking at one of those guys until the second round. This is ugly. This is really ugly. This might be like a BPA kind of situation. Well, actually, they do need wide receiver help. I shouldn't completely gloss that over. They need wide receiver help. Drake London is the top receiver on my board. Gives you something a little bit different than what Devontae Smith brings to the table. I'm taking Drake London. We got to do this 2 more times in the first round. I can't even get to where I want to be to get one of these corners. They're probably going to go in the back end of the first round anyways, which is what's annoying. See, they brought back Anthony Harris at safety. They haven't brought back Rodney McLeod yet. I do like the safeties here, but I just don't like them in the middle of the first round. I don't think that's a little too rich for me. They cut Fletcher Cox, but they're trying to bring him back. They already have Javon Hargrave. You know what? I'm going to take Devontae White. He's going to be the heir to Fletcher Cox. He's a really good pass rusher, really good against the run as well. They have Marvin Wilson and Melton Williams, who are part of last year's draft class. But I think Devontae White is just such a high-end caliber player that you have to maybe prioritize that guy over some of your younger other developmental pieces who are lower round draft picks. Let's see what else we got. And for edge, like I said, they've already added edge help, but someone like George Karlaftis plays a little bit of a different style than Hassan Reddick, certainly. Maybe not as athletic, but a little bit stouter, I would say, a little bit more physically imposing. But I don't know. I don't want to walk out of the situation without a really good corner. And I feel like we're going to end up that way, regardless of what I do here. And there's Trevor Penning as well. Lane Johnson has had injury history. He's also had different suspensions at times. They have Andre Dillard still a backup. They got Jordan Mailata. I don't think they want to move on from Lane Johnson anytime in the near future, so drafting and tackle doesn't make a ton of sense. This high in the draft, at least. Let's see, edge. I still keep coming back to edge and corner. There's linebackers as well. There's safeties I like, but not this spot. Let me see if I can trade down. I didn't see if anyone actually called me about this pick or not. Yeah. I'm hoping I can trade down here and get something to work with. Maybe Miami. And I might have to shortchange this just to make it happen. I usually don't do trades, but I just want to desperately get out of this spot because it's just the board fell awful for me this time around. Yeah, so can I get 2 fourths? No, but I can get a fourth board. I'm going to throw him a 6. I can get okay, so I'm going to move back 10 spots. And I'm going to get a 3rd round pick. I'm also throwing in a 6th rounder, and I'll get a 7th rounder late in the draft back in response, if it works. No, it didn't work. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Let's do it this way then. Okay, and usually, like I said, I usually don't do trades in my mock drafts. I just really want to get out of that pick this time around. I didn't feel like sitting there for forever. I'd be dying. All right, a bunch of edge rushers have gone. Now it's more manageable to take a safety or corner at the spot. Well, it looks like the safety Juan Dexton is already off the board. Top corners, Kyrie Elam's there. Of the guys available, I feel best for Roseman McCreary actually, but he's probably going to play a slot at the NFL level. And they already have a Avonte Maddox. So taking Kyrie Elam to pair opposite of Darius Slay is probably the best option here. You could also go edge rusher, but I think you can get one of those guys later in the draft because it is such an edge rusher heavy draft class. So Kyrie Elam. And now we just gotta wait. And this is gonna definitely go over 10 minutes now. I took way too long to get out of the first round. And the Eagles have a ton of picks. They still have a bunch of picks left. So I know it's gonna take me a while to get through everything. People are probably gonna wonder about not taking a center or an interior offensive lineman there, but they do have some depth at guard. Like they have experienced players back there. And Landon Dickinson probably is going to be the heir to Jason Kelce at center. So let's see, picking at 51, when's my next pick? How desperately I need, until 83. So I do need to hit this. I do need to make sure this works, whatever I get here. I have no interest in any top guys on the board right now. Tyler Smith at guard / tackle. Those guys are good players. I would consider them, but I don't think the Eagles need them that badly at that spot right now. But McCreary here would be so good as well. Still the second round. Linebacker as well. Linebacker in the second round really wouldn't be a bad move at this point. And safeties are really picked over. But if edge rusher is available and you get Arnold Ebiketie still out there, he's one of the final guys. Him and probably Drake Jackson on this board are two of the final guys I would consider to be part of the maybe first round guys in this draft class for edge rushers. So if Arnold Ebiketie is still out there, he's not going to be. He's going to bring you something similar to Samrek in terms of like the size. Well, he is about maybe 7 to 10 pounds heavier. Not going to be a true 4-3 defensive end. Let me look at the linebackers one more time. Yeah, you can probably get one of those later on. Let's go. Let's take Arnold Ebiketie right now. Yeah, I don't feel great about that. I think you could have honestly doubled down at wide receiver because there were some really good receivers still on the board there. And I think you could have definitely taken a linebacker. But Eagles fans will say the scheme doesn't stress linebackers, so fair enough. If you want to put it that way, fine. I'll let the linebackers fall. Wide receiver, just slot options now at this point. Alec Pierce, Justin Ross are probably the two best outside guys left on the board. Or guys you might feel comfortable enough playing outside. I would almost be tempted to take a running back down here because there are some really good ones available, but that doesn't make sense in this projection. Ed Ingram would be a really good pick, I think, in that spot. I'd get behind that. Yeah, let's see, corners. Yeah, at this point, I mean, Leo Chanel would be a really good pick, but I just don't think he fits the scheme. For him, he's a bigger linebacker. He's like 250. This is a guy you want to use in blitzing situations quite a bit on the first two downs. I don't think Philadelphia's really going to go for that. Someone like Troy Anderson, who's on the lighter side, is going to be much more versatile. You can do almost anything with him. And Channing Tindall, Quay Walker, Jojo Doman is really good in coverage. And it's kind of like it's a linebacker / safety hybrid. Brandon Smith as well. All excellent options, but in this situation, I'm very high on Troy Anderson and his ability to just be a versatile chess piece, can do a little bit of everything for you. Instinctive against the run. And like I said, very athletic and maybe won't be a star in coverage right away, but he has the physical traits to develop into that kind of player. So Troy Anderson for me, they have to get a linebacker, I think, at some point. Troy Anderson's a guy who I have a lot of faith in. Of course, there goes the running corners. I was considering going corner again, honestly. In my philosophy, you never really have enough edge rushers, corners, or wide receivers. You have to draft consistently at those positions almost every year. I would put tackle in that mix as well, but I know it doesn't make a ton of sense to do that because you might just have tackles that never play then. Which you don't want to just throw away draft capital like that. And there's still some slots available, but really, I mean, yeah, Quez Watkins playing slot for Philadelphia, so I don't think you need to worry about something like this. Let's see what else. Tackles, tight ends. Jeremy Ruckert really would not be a bad pick here, honestly. Ruckert, I know they like Tyree Jackson. I know they like some of the guys they have at tight end right now. But I'm telling you, like they were best. This offense was running really well. We only had two tight ends, Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert, and now you only have one. I mean, no one's going to game plan for any of those second or third tight ends on Philadelphia's roster. Jeremy Ruckert, you can definitely project to being an impact blocker right away, a really good blocker right away, and being involved more in the passing game than he was in Ohio State, where they barely used him. And that was not his fault. That was Ohio State's decision. That was how Ohio State basically functioned as an offense. They didn't really put much emphasis on the running game or on the passing game of tight ends specifically. They had so many great receivers they didn't have to. Let's see. Where's my next pick? I want to try again in our corner. 124. Yeah, we can wait. We can wait on the corner and probably still get one. Safety. No, I think I can still get a decent safety later and someone like Reed Blankenship. Interior offensive line. Oh, Ed Ingram's still here. Yeah, that's the pick for me. I think Ed Ingram, Justin Schaefer from Georgia, Cam Jurgens at center from Nebraska. Third round's a little bit high. Where's my next picks? Where are my picks? 154. We'll see if we can get him at 154. That's a decent center prospect. Ed Ingram at 87. Getting him at 102 is a good value selection in my opinion. And frankly, him or Spencer Burford, who I think played tackle at UTSA, a little bit on the lighter side, but I think he actually better as a tackle than a interior offensive lineman at the NFL level. But Ed Ingram or Justin Schaefer here really fit the scheme pretty well in my opinion. I'm going to take Ed Ingram. And I thought about Martin Emerson, who went right afterwards. I thought about him, but like I said, I think I can get Kobe Bryant down the line here, and all the tight ends just went off the board. Yeah, and then there was Myjai Sanders, who would have been actually not a bad pickup at this spot, even if he's not necessarily a great scheme fit. That's potentially a really talented player if he can keep his weight up. You got Josh Jobe, Caleb Evans, and Kobe Bryant to choose from. I'm going to go with Kobe Bryant here. Teams in college, I mean, look, you got Ahmad Gardner on one side. Teams are not going to Ahmad Gardner. They're going after Kobe Bryant, and he held up pretty well. So all things considered, I think Kobe Bryant's the pick here. Josh Jobe to me is a little bit stiffer than Bryant, and he's sort of athletically a little bit similar to what Patrick Surtain was last year, where Patrick Surtain's not this all-world athlete, but Surtain was very polished. Surtain was ready for the NFL, and I don't think Jobe is at that level yet. And Caleb Evans is a veteran player who transferred from Missouri, I think, just this past year, I'm pretty sure, maybe for the last 2 years. He's done pretty well. I think he's tested better than people anticipated. I think he's more athletic than people realize. So Caleb Evans is a guy I like a lot to be a mid-round selection and be a top of day 3 kind of guy. But if Kobe Bryant falls this far, I'm all in on Philadelphia going and just doubling down corner here. Because eventually Darius Slay was going to have to move on. I mean, that's the reality. Is corners only play so long in the league. You rarely get a corner playing at an elite level into their mid-30s. And the way Darius Slay is getting paid, you're going to want to move off that contract by the time he gets into that range. You go corner 3 times here. No, I won't do that. I won't go corner 3 times. Okay, that's actually not bad for the tackle spot to have those guys still available. I don't mind that. Jerome Ford. But, I mean, Philadelphia doesn't need a running back. You can find running backs like this pretty consistently. They have Miles Sanders, who I still really like. They brought back Boston Scott today. They have Kenneth Gainwell, who they drafted last year. So I'm not really high on going there. JT Woods has been a safety who really has impressed me in the pre-draft process. At the Senior Bowl, it looked really good. I think he had an interception, pretty sure, at the Senior Bowl. And he looked really good at the Combine. So JT Woods from Baylor has kind of been flying under the radar because of Jalen Petrie and how good Jalen Petrie's been. But I wouldn't put it past Woods to be a kind of surprising pick to turn out really well from this draft class. Dominic Robinson's not a bad player at all. And Michael Clemens is still there for Texas A&M. Amari Barno. But not really guys I'm looking for at this point. Let's see. Haskell Garrett, Thomas Booker. Thomas Booker would be interesting. But again, not really guys I'm looking for at this point. Thayer Mumford and Chris Paul, also decent value at this time in the draft. Ooh, Luke Fortner. That's a center. But I'm not sure he's going to be, I don't know. He's not uber athletic. He doesn't get a ton of movement, honestly, in the running game as compared to some of the guys we've talked about up to this point. Justin Ross is there as well. All right, this is tough now. This is all right. This is getting tough. There's a lot of good picks I really like here for Philadelphia. Let's try and narrow it down a little bit. This is definitely over 10 minutes already. But let's see. Justin Ross is one guy who I really want to pick here. Uh, I do want to go tackle at some point, and now is really going to be the time to do it. It's now or never, basically, I think. Or we're at 162. We might get one of them. But this pick, Justin Ross, get Luke Fortner at the next pick. And JT Woods. There's still some free agent safeties out there, and we pick at 166 again. I'm going to hope that I can take Justin Ross here, and we can still get JT Woods or a valuable safety in the next couple of picks. Come on, there we go. All right. We can get best available, Jerome Ford. Yeah, all the running backs are going to get stacked towards the top in this kind of situation. JT Woods is the best safety available. I feel pretty comfortable with him at this point, even though I haven't written an evaluation for him. There are still some good safeties down here. Like Verone McKinley is not the best prospect. He had a good season in college, or at least a good start to the season, kind of really tail off towards the end. But he wouldn't be bad value in the 5th or 6th round, really. He'd be probably a decent selection at this point. Other guys like Smoke Monday, who's going to be a really good special teams player at the very least. Reed Blankenship, Marquise Bell from Florida A&M is a larger player, more like a linebacker safety hybrid. I'm going to take JT Woods here, and then I'm going to go for Luke Fortner in my next pick. Okay, get the center. And again, he's not the best interior offensive lineman, probably the best offensive lineman in general available. Oh, I wanted to go tackle too. That's right. Oh, that's going to be tough. Oh, no. All right. I mean, Philadelphia has their tackles. It's just tackle depth they lack. They have a more immediate problem at center if Kelsey retires. Although I did draft Ed Ingram. Yeah, I drafted Ed Ingram, and Landon Dixon will be the center. Then you'll just have to fill one guard spot next year. So Ed Ingram at one guard, Landon Dickerson at center when Jason Kelsey retires. And then you'll need to fill one guard spot and you have your book in tackles. So really, tackle will probably be the better value pick here. Or Romeo Dubs even. But I think I still like the idea of – I still like Fortner quite a bit. So I'm just going to go with him. And it's going to wrap all of our premier options are done because we're going to the 7th round now. All of our impact guys are out there. And I think all these guys really could be impact players on their rookie contracts. So I have a whole round to go. So let's just look at our class so far. Drake London, Devontae Wyatt, day one starters, potentially, depending on what they do with Fletcher Cox if he comes back, how they schedule his deal, everything like that, how they structure it, how much money they're paying him. Kaiir Elam, potential day one starter. Could probably be a star by the end of the year. Arnold Ebiketie will be a rotational guy in year one, but with the ability to start going into future seasons. Troy Anderson is a future starter either in year one or year two. Ed Ingram, another guy who's going to start year one or year two. Kobe Bryant, again, a player who will be starting within his first 2 seasons. Well, maybe within his first 2 seasons. It will be him, Kaiir Elam, and Darius Slay competing for the outside cornerback spots. Those will be the 3 outside guys. Devontae Maddox will be the slot. I think Kobe Bryant has the potential to start for most teams within the first 2 or 3 years. For Philadelphia, maybe not because they'll have those other guys there. But it's not bad to have competition between 2 young corners who are highly accomplished at the college level. Justin Ross has potential to start year one just because Philadelphia's wide receiver core is so bad at this point. It really is Devontae Smith and Quez Watkins. Those are 2 guys for certain are good players. Smith in the league can be a wide receiver 1 in the NFL. Quez Watkins is a quality slot, but nothing more than that. Jalen Reagor has not emerged to be he's not emerged to the point where you can consider him a viable starter, in my opinion. Ross will certainly help out in that area, but we have Drake London there as well. JT Woods, a safety of Baylor, providing some depth to a unit that already has Kevon Wallace back there, Clemson grad, shout out. Marcus Epps, I think Marcus Epps is still there. I'm not sure. Jacoby Stevens was drafted last year for them. They brought back Anthony Harris today. So safety depth, the depth is kind of there. They don't really have 2 high-end starters, though. I think JT Woods can at least compete for a spot there. Luke Fortner, I think his potential to be a star within his rookie contract. and maybe start center if you feel better putting Landon Dixon at guard for Philadelphia once Jason Kelce retires. And one final pick for us, Amari Barno is a really good player, but he doesn't really fit the scheme here at all. This guy's going to be outside linebacker at the NFL level. I don't know if he can drop in coverage, really. He didn't do that too much in college, which is probably the biggest concern for him playing outside linebacker at the NFL level. It's going to be Zion McCollum then. I mean, the draft number, I don't think they've updated their board yet since the combine. But after what Zion McCollum did at the combine, and you can just go look up his numbers, what he did in the short shuttle and the three cone was above 90th percentile. Since all the agility tests, basically, he was above 90th percentile. So even if he's playing against lesser competition in college, and he doesn't really have the most fantastic tape, he has all the physical tools to be a good corner in the NFL. So against him like this in the seventh round, it's not going to happen. He's going to probably go fourth or fifth round. But because of the way the situation works out, he's here in the seventh, and I'm not going to pass up the opportunity to get one of the most athletic players in this entire draft class. And that will solidify our draft. This has been way more than 10 minutes. I've gone overboard again. So really quickly, this is a trade I did to move back in the first round just to get out of that bad spot so I can feel more comfortable taking a corner at the back end of the first round. This is the deal. We got, 2 stars at the very least out of it in the future. And we got Zion McCollum out of it as well, which I feel really good about. And then for our entire draft, Drake London with 15, Devontae Wyatt 16, traded back for Kaiir Elam at 29, Arnold Ebiketie at 51, Troy Anderson, your linebacker at 83. So you did get a linebacker in there. I know Philadelphia fans aren't always a big fan of that. Ed Ingram at 102, 124, Kobe Bryant, so we double up a corner, double up receiver with John Ross at 154, JT Woods, potential steal at safety at 162, Lou Fortner, maybe a starting center eventually at 166, and then the steal of the draft, Zion McCollum at 247. And that'll do it for this video. I am done. I've talked way too much here. I want to end this video right now. Hopefully my computer won't die trying to upload this. Thank you guys, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next video.